Hi everyone, welcome to PHP Summit, and this is my first tutorial on the Osclass framework. And today, what we're going to be working with is trying to figure out how to display our Facebook profile picture with the Facebook Connect plugin that you can download from the Osclass marketplace. Now, what the actual plugin, what it comes with is just a login with Facebook button with a way of getting your username or your actual name from Facebook and displaying it on your header or wherever place you want it on your page. So if you go ahead and click on the login with Facebook button, mine displays my name, my actual name from Facebook onto my header because that's where I want it to be, but you can choose wherever you want it to be. So, but what this plugin does not do is that it does not include our Facebook profile picture, which I know most of you guys would want to include your users' Facebook profile pictures along with their name. And so to do that, the first thing we have to include is the Facebook development kit. If you head over to the Facebook developers webpage, developers.facebook.com, go ahead and download the standard development kit for the Facebook API. Now I've already downloaded mine. So once you've downloaded the file, it should be the Facebook PHP SDK master. It comes with many files, but the ones that you really want are the source files. And that's the Facebook, the base Facebook, the Facebook.php, and the CRT file. Now go ahead and upload these three files to your FTP server, which I've again already done. Here's my base.facebook, there's my Facebook.php, and there's my CRT file. Okay, now we can start coding. Now this could vary wherever you want your Facebook.plugin to work. I prefer mine to be on the header, so I'm going to open up the header page and insert a PHP block to start working with the Facebook API. Now, the first thing you want to do is include the Facebook.php file so that the header file knows where to get the variables and methods from. So let's require that file. Require Facebook.php. Alright. And now what we want to do is we want to build an array of our information. Now the information we're going to be building an array of is our app details, the app that you've created with your website. If you have not created an app for your Facebook app for your website, go ahead to Facebook developers again and just create a new app. As you can see here, it comes after you've done creating the app. It comes with a Facebook app ID and also an app secret code that you can use to plug into your website. So I'll talk more about that information later, but let's begin to build that array. So $config, making it a config variable, and this equals array. And so yeah, the three details we need is the app ID, that it's an object variable, goes to something, and then slash, and then we need the secret. Spell secret wrong. That goes to something. This code I'm typing right now is just the permission code, so that the user will be presented with a dialog box that lets them choose what information they want to send over to the website. And this is optional. um, because some websites don't need it and some others do request a lot of information, and so it is nice to include it so the user knows what information that they're giving up or they're giving up to the websites. Alright. So those are the main three functions that we need to interact with our Facebook app. Um, so once you have that, okay, so once you've built your app, go back to the Facebook developers page. The first thing you see is the app ID. Go ahead and copy that app ID. If you already used the plugin, the Facebook Connect plugin, you should already know this information, and so you can just copy and paste whatever you have on your plugin into the file that the header file that we're creating right now. So that's mine right there. Take this one. This is a generic code app that I created, so it doesn't really do anything. It's just something I just created for the tutorial. So once you have those three information, you are set with the app information. So now we need to create a new variable, a new Facebook variable. New Facebook. Big. Also create a new user ID object variable. Facebook. And what this does is it gets the user information. So implement a get user method. This method comes from the Facebook.php file that we required up at the top. So once we have that, we literally are going into the Facebook.php file and getting the user ID using this method. And the user ID essentially is all you need to get all the information that you can get from a user. So once we have that, we need to create an if statement to tell the method to know when to include the user ID, because some people might be already logged on to their Facebook page, and so it doesn't make sense to require them to log in again. So create a few if statements to make sure that the user is logged in. If not, then have them log in to request the information. So if user ID and then breakpoint. So I'll just put some comments here. We have a user ID, so probably a logged in user is in session. And if not, we'll get an exception, which we handle below. Alright, so got that in place. So the next is we have to do a try statement. So try user profile. So create a new variable, user profile equals Facebook. And this is the standard way of getting information from the Facebook.php file. I didn't make it up. It's the Facebook API that you use to request this information. So we have back there. So API, and then so